Hi everyone, today I wanted to talk about Sun in the 12th house. This is part of the Sun sign series where I talk about the Sun being in the different houses of the zodiac wheel. So it doesn't really matter what your actual Sun sign is, what your zodiac Sun sign is. So you could be an Aries Sun, you could be a Taurus Sun, Scorpio, or any zodiac sign. I'm talking about when the Sun is in the 12th house of your zodiac wheel, when you draw up the birth chart. So stay tuned to keep watching this video and knowing more about this. Before that, I wanted to let you know that I'm taking on bookings for personal readings. So if you'd like to get a reading done on your natal birth chart, or if you'd like a synastry or love compatibility reading or a tarot card reading, you can drop me a message on Facebook or email. It's facebook.com/Venusianscorp and email is astrolog111@gmail.com, and the links are in the description box so you can contact me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So let's get started. So what does the Sun represent? The Sun represents our ego, our identity, our sense of self, how we believe ourselves to be at a very core individual level. So it represents our individuality to a large extent. The Sun also represents, like I said, ego, it represents vitality, it represents radiance, it represents willpower as well. And so it's a very important part of our personality. It's a very core part of our personality. The 12th house is often called the house of the undoing. Now, I generally don't like this description because I feel like this is it has the energy of doom and gloom. It's quite pessimistic in the description. So for me, the 12th house is the house of the subconscious. It's where things are not very clear, where things can get lost in the haze, lost in the clouds, because the 12th house is very Neptunian, Piscean energy, because the 12th house is traditionally ruled by Pisces, So there is this element of mystery, first of all, to the 12th house. The 12th house also has to do with seclusion and isolation. So that's why it rules things like prisons, asylums, temples, monasteries, places where people go to sort of be by themselves, or just not necessarily isolate, but just be by themselves. So this is also the house of meditation. It's also the house of connecting with yourself in order to know yourself better. While a lot of people call the 12th house the house of the undoing, I actually look at it as the house that gives you the greatest rewards, because it's only when you sit by yourself and you really understand yourself that you discover who you are, and that's when you can really unlock your true potential. Now, one of the things with the Sun in the 12th house, it's kind of interesting because the Sun is the Sun. It's radiance, it's vitality, it's something that wants to shine bright. It's not something that's supposed to be hidden away, and it's not something that's supposed to be isolated. It's not supposed to be hidden behind the clouds. And when your Sun is in the 12th house, that's pretty much what happens, because like I said, the 12th house is very cloudy. Think of it like this cold, foggy, hazy day where there are a lot of clouds and the Sun is hidden behind the clouds. So the Sun is not able to shine. The Sun is not able to reveal its true brilliance. And when the Sun is connected with your ego, your sense of self, your identity, such core parts of your personality, and when that's hidden away in the 12th house, a lot of the times people who have their Sun in the 12th house may struggle with their sense of self. Like, you could have an Aries Sun sign, right? Like, which is a fire sign, which is known to be extremely assertive and like this fire starter energy because it's a cardinal sign. But if you have your Aries Sun sign in the 12th house, you may actually struggle to know who you are. And that's true for any Sun in the 12th house. Like, you may have this identity crisis of sorts where you feel like you never really belong anywhere. You really feel like you're malleable, like your ego is malleable, because the 12th house is very fluid. It's ruled by Neptune and Pisces, and these two are very shifting, hazy, mysterious energies, which you can't really grasp it, Pisces is the fish, and it's difficult to hold the fish in your hand. And the same thing with Neptune. It's this hazy, misty planet, which is about illusions and delusions and things of that nature. So having your Sun, which is your ego and identity, in this kind of a house makes it very difficult for you to understand yourself. So you may often struggle with the big questions like, who am I? Why am I here? Like, what is my purpose in life? Things of that nature, because that is not easily accessible to you. Like, if you had the sun in the first house, which is your sense of self, which is your house of self expression, it would be very obvious to you and everybody else. Like, this is who I am, this is what you get, it's very in your face. But when you have the sun in the 12th house, it's hidden away. A lot of people may not know who you are, and actually even you may not know who you are. So one of the solutions I always give to prominent 12th house placements is to really spend a lot of time meditating, because that's one of the keys to unlocking the treasure that is you. You will get the most answers about yourself when you actually isolate yourself and sit by yourself, which can be difficult because, again, the 12th house is very shifting. It doesn't like to sit still. So there is an energy of restlessness. So there is a lot of challenge when you have the sun in the 12th house, because you can be restless. And so sitting by yourself and making sense of who you are can be very difficult. But that is actually the solution to find out who you are and figure out who you are in this lifetime. Also, grounding yourself is going to be very, very crucial, because you may feel like you can be very spacey at times. You can daydream a lot, because again, we're talking about the 12th house, we're talking about Neptune, Pisces kind of energies here. So you may be like, your head may be in the clouds a lot of the time. You may have goals, like, I want to do XYZ in my life, but these goals may tend to shift a lot in your life. So it may be difficult for you to have one steady goal that you pursue. You may want to change your occupation. You may want to change who you are as a person throughout your life. You may have phases in life that you believe you're this person for 5 years, and then one fine day you wake up and say, I don't resonate with this anymore, and then you may want to become a completely different person, or you may identify with a completely different ego or identity. So that can be something that may also happen with the sun in the 12th house placement. But always I say meditation is crucial, and grounding yourself. So working with the earth is extremely therapeutic for those with strong 12th house placements, because that's going to bring you back to the earth, and keep you within the earthly realm. So that's a little bit about the sun in the 12th house. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. Drop in a comment in the comment box. I love reading your comments and interacting with you guys. And like I was saying, if you want to get a reading done, you can contact me for a booking through Facebook or email. Both the links are in the description box. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.